Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're going to watch another couple of episodes of the Apothecary Diaries, of course. Episodes 4 and 5, if my schedule is to be believed. And we're very excited to be here, following up last week, which, to be honest, it was a confusing upload in a number of ways, right? So, one portion, okay, the public audience, you'll get a version that has a bunch of black squares in it because YouTube fucked me over. That's not anything new. YouTube's done that before, and I've done a similar method. That's fine. For you Patreon people, you would have seen the initial upload, which just had huge editing mistakes all through it. I know exactly what caused it. I was being a dum-dum, and I won't do that again. Never ever again. Also, I was in a bit of a rush to get it uploaded, so I didn't double-check some things. I was foolish, let's say. Very foolish. As a result, I've got kind of comments over two different uploads of the same video, if that makes any sense. It was a jumbled mess last week. Hopefully this week, and again, the standards are very low, we just get a video out that looks relatively normal. That would be nice, please. Either way, if I pop over here to the YouTube comments in question. So these are the ones from the first upload, and I'm pretty sure Kelvin's just left this here to troll me, because I have no idea what this is. I'm not going to attempt to read it. I think you just trolled me. Very well done. It's a good joke. I laughed. Very funny. And yeah, this is just a comment of me saying that I made an editing mistake and there'll be a new version. And then that new version inexplicably got copyright claimed. Why? Why? I guess it had more footage of episode 3 because the 3 stuff was the stuff where the editing mistake was. Anyway. I'm rambling. Let's go over to the other one. So this is the other upload, and there's two more comments here. One from Kelvin again, of course, and one from Pencil Sharp. So let's dive into this one, shall we? Although this is not strictly a historical show, we can get a pretty good idea of time. The presence of cacao means post-Columbian exchange, along with the lack of Manchu aesthetics, puts us solidly in the 16th century. Thank you for the historical knowledge, of course. Something that I have no reference on. You could be telling fibs, and I'd have no clue. But yeah, this sounds right. 16th century, the 1500s. Sounds right to me, sure. And then our final comment here today from Kelvin. I agree that this show really benefits from a second viewing. It may be a result of the medium, anime versus light novel / manga, but I found the way they explain some things to be more confusing in the anime versus the manga. A good example of this is the head lady in waiting dropping the expensive vase. When I read that in the manga, I felt I instantly knew what she was doing. However, even though I knew from the manga what the scene was, the scene in the anime was still pretty confusing. Had I not had prior knowledge, I probably wouldn't have understood what the fuck was going on. I was in this camp. Obviously, the second viewing helps in that regard. I've talked about it before, but anime being a rigid medium which dictates your pace in which you watch it, unless you're pausing, of course, versus manga, where you can, okay, I didn't quite understand that the first, skim through. Let's actually read what's going on there again. You can go back and double check some things. You can kind of tackle it at your own pace, and that's part of the charm of that medium, of course. But yeah, I picked up on most of the stuff, especially after that second viewing. The episodes, of course, got a lot better on the second viewing as well. Once I understood what the end goal was, I saw all the little setups in there, especially for episode 3. Episode 3 is very good. Kelvin here implies as well that there's some obvious future plot things, but there's some little stuff that they've hidden already which will become very relevant later on. So I'm keen to see if I've picked up on those details and if I catch them in the moment and that kind of thing. Hopefully I've got my thinking cap on and I can figure it all out. Hoping. We'll see. So I don't have a ton of time today, so we're probably just going to jump straight into those episodes, do 2, and then kind of do some analysis on them tomorrow. That's the plan as it stands right now. I should do the Patreon shout out before anything else, of course, as well, so bear with me. As always, if you wanted to be that 1 week ahead on my uploads, I think it should be another 2 episodes next week if things go to plan. That's what I've kind of set as the pace of the show, unless there's a particularly big episode or something like that. We'll see. Early next week seems busy, so we'll see. But either way, people have paid me money to be that 1 week ahead, of course. And those people are including, or up to and including, Annie Gregg, Mickey Babbers, Trows++, Anders Harlan, Bobbin, Chobo Ribby, Domobot, Ed, Emily A, Fleur Nightingale, Fruit, Gloriana Tenebrae, Gus N, Heath, Hex, Ika, Yako Yavanen, Joran, Caitlin at 10,000, Kelvin, Clem, Nosta, Lou, Mish, Mistake L. Chen, Parnick, Pencil Sharp 333, Pseudonym Van Dyke, Ronlad B&K, Saint Lily, Sal, Sam1373, Skeleton, Surrogate Corpse, Without a Net, Zan Echo, Zach, Binchy, Hans Peter, Marsh, Adley, Nick, Ramen Boy, and Rantiki. So thank you to all those people for giving me money. So last week was, would I call it progression for Mau Mau? At least somewhat, right? I think that from the very end of that, we can at least talk to the fact that she has some kind of want to know more about the concept of love. Let's say that broadly. I don't know if that's going to be tangible in the plot or if that's going to be a little bit more of her own personal emotional arc. As I've said before, a lot of those metaphors coming to the fore already with the flowers and the, blooming and the poison and the everything there, right? Costuming being very important. She's still in that kind of same set of clothes that she's been in, just kind of, Mau Mau's kind of clothes that she wears. I wonder if she'll change clothes at some point and if that'll be for a certain reason. What is Jinshi's role in this? We should also consider the story of Lady Fuyo and how, I guess, she manipulated the system to a point where she could go off and be with the one she loved. Compare that with Lady Gokyo, who is in too deep with the Emperor, has a kid with the bloke, can't really run away in a similar way. What is her end goal? Is it power? Is it something else? It seems like this episode we're going back to Lady Liha, at least on some level. Again, her child passed away. It was bad, so sucks to be her. And Mau Mau's going to become involved there, I believe. So, again, is that another comparison point? Another person that is now trapped? Has she lost the Emperor's favor because of this, even despite her own power? Is like the Emperor going to be like, boo, we don't like her anymore, I'm leaning more Lady Gokyo? Is that fair? Lots of questions to be asked there, of course. So, yeah, keen to jump in. Discord, you should join the Discord and talk to me about the show. I would love to hear your thoughts, of course. Subscribe, like the video. Alright, we're going to jump in and watch 2 episodes of the show, shall we? Let's do just that. I forgot to download the episodes, but I have now, so I just kind of sat there for 20 minutes waiting for them to download. Anyway, that was weird. 22 minutes and 50 seconds on episode 4 of the Apothecary Diaries here, of course. There will be a picture-in-picture version in the description below for your viewing pleasure if you need such a thing. If not, I'm using the subs please version so you can sync up with your own copy. Alright, I'm going to give it a 3, 2, 1 and jump right in. Radio? 3, 2, 1, go. Straight in, of course. Kusuriya no Hitori Goto, of course. I can read, allegedly, sometimes. It really is an interesting opening, right? Very focused, for sure, on one concept and getting it across as much as possible. If there was one flower I was going to look at, maybe it's that yellow one that bloomed right here before the dance sequence. Maybe that would be worth looking up. Yeah, keen to see how you change over time, I guess, is my major thought from the events of that opening. What do we do now? Oh yeah, Lifa? Lifa, okay, not Liha. The threat. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, it got forced upon you by the events of the end of last episode. The Emperor? Is that who showed up at the very end? I would imagine so. He looked pretty official, so. And you're tasting for poison? Yep, gotcha. And showing the utmost respect. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. I have a bad feeling too. Yeah. Could you deal with that? Yeah. You have to. He doesn't give a fuck. Why would he? Yeah. It's that whole rivalry thing, right? Yeah, they're just gonna bully you, basically. So she stopped using the powder then? That's good. Oh, I see. Okay, you made some good change then. He knows how shit the doctor is. Okay. Thank you, Jalan. Mm-hmm. Get her to shit it out. Okay. Got a bit of nutritional knowledge too, of course. The Emperor literally told me to be here. Can you let me do my job? Because you guys clearly aren't. No, that's a bad understanding of nutrition. It'll make her feel like way worse. Because they don't. Yeah. Anyway. Frustrating. Can't she just say, I'm like, the Emperor told me to fucking be here? Buzz off. You pack of nerds. What did I do? What'd you say fuck me for? I brought a curse with me. I'm gonna kill you. No. Thoughts? I don't know. Well, you guys aren't helping. Well, yeah, the mental side of it probably is worth noting. I love the color coding on all the characters as well. I think it's pretty clever. Yeah. Are you gonna help? Help or hinder? Great. Awesome. Yeah. What in the background? That's so funny. All right. Thank you, Jinchi, for using your boyish charms. All you people are jobless as. I'm come to do the actual work here. Yeah, she's pretty gaunt, I would say. Gotcha. Interesting. Did you just rub some makeup off? Yeah, what the fuck? You guys are savage. You guys are fucking stupid as fuck. Or they know, and they're like literally trying to fucking kill her. Oh, this is a cool shot. I'm recording. Is it? Oh shit! Let's go. Okay, alright, settle, settle. So is it stupidity or maliciousness? Yeah, no, okay, you're just stupid. Gotcha. The voice acting, too. Did I mention she's a good voice actor? Or voice actress, depending on your preference. Okay. Jinchi, thoughts? Yeah? I forgot he was here. Oh no. It's very interesting that you have that level of passion for this too. May indicate some things. It's a difference in priorities, eh? It's very invested. What was that? Did that move weirdly? Okay, no, it's the camera. I thought my video file was just like destroying itself. Rice water. Oh shit. Not flagellation. Um, I'm very, very interested in why you care so much. Because again, it's completely counter to your normal nonchalantness. Heh. Thank you, Gao Shun. Thanks. I fucking love food. You didn't bring me food. Fuck off. What are we doing? Building something. Oh, a steam bath. I have a lot of power, huh? They can just build whatever they want. Okay, you gonna talk to me? Lifa? Okay, that's not good. Suicidal. Okay, very logical. People are more complex than that. Lovely. Brilliant. Gorgeous. Gorgeously animated. Well, sucks to be that kid. He fucking died. Yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah, no misusing that as justification for why she holds on to life. Remembering when it was good. Very, very, very well done. Alright, let's go to the sauna, everybody. Just chilling. Chilling in the sauna as you do. So my question is, like, is the doctor stupid? Did he not touch her face? Does that make any sense? Like, he must have observed her, and he now knew that the makeup was fucking poison. I'm guessing he's just stupid. Okay, this person's back. If I had my way, you'd be on fucking seek.com. Jump on Indeed. Put in somewhere else. But anyway. Yeah? What do you want? All's well that ends well. Right? Also very well animated. Interesting. Not so different, you and I. Between her and Gyokyo. Yeah, why are we animating the fuck out of this? We're going crazy. Yeah. Who's looking at her? Mau Mau, watch out! Okay, I think it's just Lifa showing a bit of care. Nice. Returning the favor. I wonder what the Emperor now thinks of that. That's an interesting question. Go talk to the Emperor, he might sort you out. Yeah. Yeah. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder? I was about to say this scene's very classy. Tension? Oh my god, getting very specific. You have fat tits. Is that what she said? Yeah, I think that's what she said. That's funny. Okay, bye. Thank you, Mau Mau, for saving my life. What, tassels? Oh no. That's a bit funny. It's a little bit funny. Hey, well, it seems like she wants to have another kid, so sure. Go for it. Okay. Our good friend Mau Mau has returned from her excursion. Yeah, good point. She was kind of wrecking herself there. She didn't rest much. Huh. That's a little bit funny. Where are we? Yeah, I thought so. What the fuck? The rainbow spirit, it's here. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's not. Did you throw some kind of weird explosive that exploded in a rainbow light and then burnt your hands? Okay. Very episodic this show. I didn't see this coming in. So again, you kind of had the first episode which kind of set up a few things that are pretty important. The second episode, still kind of setting up, still getting us established in, I think it's the Jade Pavilion is where Gyokyo is, right? Then the next one, focused on Lady Fuyo, and then Lady Lifa for the next episode, right? And then this next one again seems to be focused on something else entirely again, right? Obviously, we're not resetting everything upon these episodes, but definitely focused on a different subject. There is, I guess, macro plot elements as well as micro to the episode plot elements. So it's important to notice which are impacting which, I guess. But I love that episode. I thought that was great. Some particularly good scenes of animation. Got me emotional at points. Nice to see some character development for Lifa, of course, as well as some more indications about Mau Mau's backstory. Again, I think I'm implying something about her mother. I'm thinking back to the first episode, and I'll probably bring it up tomorrow when I analyze. Like, Mau Mau seems personally invested in the use of this makeup and its poisonous status. So, One to watch. Okay, next time on. Yeah, okay. Seems to be following up what I thought we would be following up. Okay, that's pretty sick, though. Covert Ops. Sure. And yeah, as I said before, we'll just get up that next one and pop right in and do some more Apothecary Diaries. Rightio, I have episode 5 up there ready to go of the Apothecary Diaries here, of course. 22 minutes and 50 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. As always, there will be a picture-in-picture version in the description below, and using the subs please subset stuff. So yeah, just going to give it a 3, 2, 1 and jump right in. Rightio, 3, 2, 1, go. Straight back into that opening again, of course. I will say episodes are very short because the file length is only 22 minutes, 50 seconds. There's a preview at the very end. You have opening and ending there. You're kind of just under 20 minutes of actual content, which is pretty low for an anime episode. Bite-sized, I would call them. Nonetheless enjoyable, of course. I can't believe they were still using the makeup. It's like, why does she keep getting more and more sick? It's like, are you guys fucking stupid? Or did nobody touch her face? Or anyway, it resulted in Mau Mau slapping a bitch. So there's perks to everything, I guess. Mau Mau be dancing. That's all I'm trying to say. Hana ni nate. Of course. Now in the preview before, it seemed like Jinshi was talking to Xiaolan, so one to watch maybe. Okay, let's do this setup. What is this multicolored explosion? Yeah, Burnt hands. Okay. Covert ops. Who's fighting? Who the fuck is that? Is that Jinshi? Doesn't look like him. He's kind of ripped. He's bussin'? Yeah, Jinshi. Okay. Okay, she's more healthy. That's nice. Yeah, it was good. It means she's serious. Maybe you should take your shirt off in front of her. That might help. You're kind of ripped. You're kind of fucking jacked, dude. I'm gonna be honest. I never knew. Okay, a couple shrooms. Get the leftovers, share it with the gang. Let's go. What? Some kind of love potion. Okay. Okay, maybe I might be responsible. So that was the scene from the preview, so maybe I just misread that. Wouldn't be the first time I've been wrong. What are they? He seems bad at his job, but he's pretty chill. I don't know. I mean, I like all those things. It would probably taste pretty good. He loves it. He's an accomplice. No, we've been discovered. Is that not just a burn? That's a rash. Okay. There's lots of reasons for rashes. But explain. I was burning trash, as you do. Oh, shit. This is very Hyoka. I love the audio. They even said the Hyoka word there. And ever since then, I had a rash? Now, the rash was already there. What the fuck? Is it itchy? Does it feel like a rash? Okay. You figured it all out. Basic chemistry goes brr. Oh. Hanabi. Of course. Okay. This mystery was fucking nothing. Why would you get a rash just from touching something, though? You're weird. Okay. Playing hard to get. Oh. I guess I'll make some for myself. Yeah. 5. uh. What are we doing with the colors? Huh, okay, maybe it indicates something a little bit deeper. Okay, I doubt you can stay away long. Oh, she got her clothes. Is it her clothes? Yeah. Oh, there's going to be a garden party. Okay, sure. Twice a year? I'm a top ranking concubine. Who the hell are all these people? I know two of them. Sure. Sit still and look pretty. Just follow a guy. Mama's not good at smiling. I see. You're fucking pumped. Yep, you gotta be there. Whatever I need to do. Okay. How about no white stuff? None of the white makeup, please. I'm with Mau Mau. I don't like parties. uh, an iron bladder? Gonna make yourself a little remedy. Was that some ginger? Looks pretty good. Yeah. Love me some ginger. Oh. Okay. Sure. Okay. No, ew. Okay, maybe Gaussian, he's okay. Alright, everyone's gonna be fucking cold as hell. Sure. I can do that. Are you gonna pay me? They're putting her to work. Jesus. Okay, no, they're teaching her stuff on the other side, sure. Proper etiquette. I hear it's cold. Yeah? What's going on? Okay, I got everyone's shit done. What are those? Huh. Seems like there's some kind of plot at play. I don't really know what we're indicating, but it seems bad. Okay, yeah, looking very pretty. That's nice. Opulent. Lots of different words. Oh. Yeah, I do like the red with the pink hair. Okay. Thank you. What about for Mau Mau? What do we have? Okay, thanks, Mum. Little necklace. Okay. What? Okay. No, that makeup doesn't seem like the poison one. What? 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 What was it? I can't even begin to tell you what was up with her face. Okay. The whole gang's here. This feels very shonen. It feels like they're gonna fight each other. Sure. Show me Mau Mau. Weird champ. No, you're meant to be dating the Emperor. Maybe not Gyokyo. Yeah, because of the other one that's with her. More than troublesome. Show me Mau Mau's friggin' face. Quickly now. They keep bringing up the colors. I must say that they're right. Turn your face. Quickly now. Yeah. Sure. I don't know what was the wiping of the face then. He's taken aback by her beauty. Oh, you. Oh, so the freckles are fake? Why? For what purpose? Okay. I mean, good point. Go off. Kinda. Ooh, shit. Instead, I got kidnapped and taken here. Borderline marketable. Why would you care? I was like a peasant. Yeah. It's just the way the world is. It fucking sucks. Yeah. He knows it's a bit serious. Oh. What is? What did you do? Alright, bro is catching feelings, but we knew that. Yeah, what is that? What does it all mean? I would give it away. How do I split it? Yeah, he's like marking you, I think, right? Yeah, I don't know this custom. Sure, we're dancing. It's a real poppin' party. There's like four dudes here. The autumn leaves, of course. And then, yeah. So this was a two-parter, no? Or not? Yes, I was correct. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? What are you doing? Implied poisoning occurring, but also something. We're talking about those kind of wooden tablet things. Unsure. Again, fascinating episode. I think the largest revelation there is around the freckles and what that all means, especially thematically with a lot of the rest of the show and the discussions around makeup up to this point. Chuck that in the pool of, conversation topics, interesting things to analyze. Jinshi's catching feelings, but we already kind of knew that. But he's also a schemer, so you never know. What else? What else even happened? A lot of cooking this episode. A lot of Mau Mau working hard, putting in a good day's graft, of course. And yeah, a lot of lead up to whatever happens next. It seems like some kind of attempt is going to be made on either Gyokyo or the Emperor. Those would be the two targets. We do have another couple of ladies in waiting there as well. Not ladies in waiting, rivals to Gyokyo and Lifa and stuff. So poisoning could come from that person or whatever this plot is. You could pause on that last frame and try to see who it is, I guess, but sounds like work. I don't want to do that. Heh. Okay, so you're going to figure out what the hairpin means as well. Gotcha. Yeah. The party. And yeah, I will return tomorrow and we'll talk about those episodes in some more detail. But they were quite good. I enjoyed myself today. Yeah, particularly 4. I think 4 is better than 5 because 5 is set up for 6, I think. So we'll see. Yeah, fun show. It's growing on me quite a bit, which is good. I wanted that to happen. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about it some more. And we're back. It's the next day. It's time to talk about Apothecary Diaries once again. I watched those 2 episodes yesterday, and they're weighing on the mind, which is generally a good sign. I thought they were swell. I thought there was a couple of swell episodes of the show, in particular episode 4, really impressing me, being a little bit more, I guess, holistic. Is that the word for it? It was centered around one topic, I guess, so it's a little bit easier to get emotionally invested and, tick it off in my brain. Hey, that was a story arc that was closed, or at least somewhat, from the start. Lady Lifa got better. Feels good. Where the other one kind of left me with bated breath, waiting for the next chapter. Seemingly there's some kind of plot that's happening, some kind of attempt, let's say. And yeah, something about the little wooden tablet things that is going to hint us off there, apparently. But yeah, maybe it would be worth to, I guess, maybe skim last week's or episode 5 before doing next week's stuff. Maybe that would be a good idea. Just keep that kind of stuff in the mind. So, because it's kind of one mystery, you miss certain elements, you just forget them through the week. So, again, maybe food for thought. I wanted in particular to talk more about episode 4 here today, so that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. If I remember from when I first started the series, my eyes gravitated to one episode in particular due to the person that was working on it, China, I don't know which one they go by, but episode directing and storyboarding this episode in particular. So yeah, now I see there's a definite difference between the rest of the episodes thus far and this episode in particular. Definitely a focus on character animation, definitely a focus on posing. Even this one I've got on screen right now is quite good. I love where the camera's placed and how the character is drawn. I think it's very, very nice. Even noting some nice stuff about the colors used. I just wanted to get up, I had it over here on ANN, but I don't know if I'll pop it up on screen or not. Just this particular animator and what they've worked on in the past. So some work on Bocce the Rock on the opening, so you can kind of see that a little bit in the character movement side of it. Another fantastic opening, of course. There's only really another couple of places where we've done some episode direction. Encouragement of Climb, which I hear is good, but I haven't seen. Some episode direction on that series, as well as some stuff on Heike Monogatari, Naoko Yamada's thing she did with Science Saru. And yeah, that's very good as well. Episode 3, I don't remember in particular, but they directed that episode, so shoutouts to them. I'm pretty sure I went through part of this before as well, but Mob Psycho 100 Season 2, another very well animated show. Some work with Trigger on Gridman and Dynazenon, as well as some stuff on Wonder Egg Priority. So yeah, seems very talented. They're only 1 year older than me, so hopefully they have a long career and continue to make well animated episodes like the one we're watching here right now. But beyond the production of this episode, I think the themes and kind of the story that it gets at, I guess you could call it redemption for Lifa's character as well, is a sight to behold. Emotionally moved at certain points in this episode, which I can't say for some of the other stuff in the past up to this point, outside of maybe the end of episode 3. So if we're heading towards that direction, getting me further and further emotionally invested in both Mao Mao and the other characters in the show, that's only a good thing, I think. But yeah, the best way to make a start is to make a start, so let's dive into this one and have another little bit of a look. So the episode here starts on a little bit of a time skip ahead before filling in the blanks. So the person that appeared at the end of episode 3, that was the Emperor. And the Emperor's telling Mao Mao, hey, essentially you have to go help Lady Lifa, help her become better, because I don't really trust the doctor in this regard. But yeah, anyway, I'll let the scene play out, of course. We're skipping ahead to where she's serving Lifa, of course. I must remember the Crystal Pavilion is associated with Lady Lifa, of course, where we have the Jade Pavilion, which is Lady Gyokyo. So keep that, or commit that to memory, I guess. It's very interesting here that we start on a scene of food. I believe Mao Mao is testing the food. Yes, correct. We're contrasting different kinds of food a lot this episode as well. The opulent, nutritious food and the food that somebody actually needs. So again, just keeping an eye on it. It's a thing that's, continuing to persist through the episode. Now, I must bring up something else. YouTube got really mad at me last week for playing certain scenes, or at least doing, hitting the spacebar a bunch, and even, just kind of glancing through scenes a little bit. It blocked a bunch of my shit, and it wasn't just blocked like it blocked monetization, it was blocked like nobody could see it blocked. So, that's fucking bad. As a result, I continue to tell you that there's fantastic character animation in this, episode, but hey, if I don't play any of it, I don't play any of it. You guys saw it. You guys saw the episode already, so you know what I'm talking about. In particular, this is one of the best examples of it, just this elaborate sequence where she kind of goes through and moves her hands in various ways whilst tasting the food and testing it for poison in front of the Emperor. There's a certain rigidness to the animation, which I really like. It's befitting of somebody that's quite stiff in the presence of somebody very important. Like, we know Mao Mao, she's anything if stiff. She's, expressive and stuff, and nonchalant. She's loose. So seeing her changed like this in the presence of somebody very important is interesting. It even indicates to me something that is a little bit subtextual right now. She's a little bit out of her depth when it comes to all this, specific like showing respect stuff. She's not with the whole nobility thing in the way that a lot of other people are. In the next episode, I believe that some of the girls are training her a little bit in the proper bowing etiquette and that kind of thing, right? So that may talk to her stiffness right now. She's not very comfortable with doing such things and may grow into that role as the show continues. Again, I can't play it. This like slight lean in from the Emperor as he goes to talk to Mao Mao about what he wants her to do is quite interesting. Leaning forward like out of his slump back in his seat where he's just kind of relaxing to requesting something of somebody else. Again, the animation here is quite good. So there's a few things going on here. One, Mao Mao is now caught between a rock and a hard place. We saw the opening scene of the episode. She's essentially being bullied by Lady Lifa's ladies-in-waiting, right? So, like, that sucks. I want to get away from the bullies. But no, the Emperor, literally the word of the heavens, has just told me that I need to cure her. Yeah, you won't let me cure her? Like, the Emperor told me to cure her, and you're, like, not letting me? Again, becomes the conflict in the episode before things occur, and then Mao Mao snaps. The other one is that the Emperor is brazen enough to say this in front of another concubine, right? In front of Lady Gyokyo, which maybe indicates importance and priorities and that kind of thing. I wonder how you truly feel about this kind of thing. It seems like we're really building up that rivalry between the different pavilions, I guess you would say, against the different ladies in the show with the colors, right? Almost in a shonen-esque way, as I talked about in episode 5. I wonder who really is the Emperor's favorite in that regard, and what qualifies one to be a favorite. What is the Emperor looking for out of any of this? Again, building up this rivalry thing, we cut straight out of that scene with the Emperor to the scene of picking up the food and cleaning it up and that kind of thing. Of course, the ladies-in-waiting of Lady Lifa would feel this kind of way about Mao Mao, right? She's the enemy, right? We've seen that the enemy in Lady Gyokyo has one more step up now that she has a child, where Lady Lifa lost her child, so like we feel like we're behind, we get defensive, let's kick her out, we don't want you doing anything untoward, especially an apothecary, somebody specialized in poisonings. We repeat this shot a number of times as she's continually kicked out of the ladies' chambers. Now, this piece of context here is kind of disguised early, but becomes relevant later. Essentially, we're talking about the white powder and how it's banned and how the eunuchs stole all of it again, and nobody's allowed to use it, essentially, right? But that begs the question, why is Lady Lifa getting sicker and sicker? Maybe the poison's still in her system some way. Maybe it's still being applied. Now that I'm looking at it, there's good animation everywhere. This episode's actually insane. Like, why did she wave like that? Again, I'm very frustrated. I can't play any of it, but it's very, very good. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's everywhere. Why didn't I see this immediately? There's some very, very impressive overt cuts that I praised in the moment, but holy fuck, is it well animated. Holy shit. Okay, sure. Either way, now we're just making more and more different foods, trying to, I guess, give them to Lady Lifa so she can, hopefully get better, right? We're trying to make meals to help her get better. Packing it full of fiber. We want her to pass this sickness however she may. I think we bring up her drinking lots of water, helping to pass the sickness as well later on. Just good advice generally. Cue a little bit of a montage where she continually gets kicked out after trying to serve this food that's actually going to make her better to the lady. And yeah, building up this frustration, building up this resentment, helping us to identify with Mao Mao in this moment, helping build up to that breaking point, of course. In comparison, this is what the people of Lady Lifa's house, the Crystal Pavilion, are serving her. A crab, elaborate fish dish, something more salmon. It looks like a lot. But it is nutritious. It would be very yummy, of course. Very luxurious. But, it's not very helpful for somebody that's sick. If I'm sick and I'm throwing up everywhere, I don't want to eat this, right? Trying to even eat this would be pointless. I wouldn't enjoy it, and I would probably... I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't be able to eat it. Anyway, I don't need to tell you this. This is a bad option, right? I don't need a 5-course meal when I'm feeling unwell. Lo and behold, they try to feed some of this to Lady Lifa, and she doesn't take it very well. She coughs it down. She doesn't eat the food. She doesn't get the nutrition. It doesn't matter that it's nutritious. If she doesn't eat it, then the nutrition of the meal doesn't matter. And Mao Mao is proven extremely correct here as well. I'd be feeling kind of smug about it, at least. And of course, who else to blame for all of this but the person that didn't serve them any food at all? This is your fault. I don't know how, just, absolutely intangible reasons like the atmosphere. You're ruining it. You put a curse on her. What? No, it's not. You guys are just doing a bad job. So as Mao Mao continues to try to do her job, we have the very jobless Jinshi here following her around and, I guess, spying on her. And I guess comes through with the assist later on by, I guess, helping Mao Mao to get closer to Lifa. I think here I'll bring it up, but it's important later as well, and we imply it more heavily. I'm seeing something with wanting to make Lady Lifa better and her condition right now as relating to something from Mao Mao's past. I'm pretty sure that's pretty concrete, I think. Maybe something with the mother, I would say. And kind of gives a reason for why Mao Mao feels the way she does about this, feels so strongly, has the reaction she does, especially around makeup. Later in the piece, when she does the slapping. But in particular, these shots of, I guess, a lady withering away in the bed, losing the will to live after losing a child, all this kind of stuff being brought up, I think, indicates something earlier. There was something with they banned the white makeup, and there was an offhand remark to Xiaolan, right? It was like, yeah, good. And we don't normally see Mao Mao just like offhandedly say, oh yeah, that's good, that's bad. She doesn't really give opinions like that. She kind of listens and waits. In this one, almost instinctually, she said, yeah, it's good that they got rid of that makeup. Again, I think that indicates something a little bit deeper. We'll talk about makeup a little bit more in episode 5 as well, of course. A pretty obvious one here as well, but as we enter the building, it's raining pretty heavily outside. Pretty obvious pathetic fallacy for the situation at hand, right? The sun isn't out. Contrast this rain, of course, with the lovely sunny scene we see at the end of the episode. Lady Lifa feeling way better. That pretty obvious stuff, but it's very good. Either way, here comes Jinshi for the assist, of course. He's going to use his boyish charms to get Mao Mao a little bit closer to what she wants to do. Yeah, this episode's just marvelous from an animation point of view. It just really, really, really is. Because now I'm remembering some of these cuts up the top with the girls going crazy. Yeah, this look into like, she's like dying in the background. Fantastic. Love it. I'll talk about it more a little bit later as we continue this portion of the video, but Jinshi is becoming more and more interested in Mao Mao, I guess I would say. Maybe not romantic to this point, definitely after episode 5, I would say, but she's a bit of an enigma, right? He sees all these people around him that are just enamored with his good looks, look on a surface level at him where, Mao Mao doesn't behave that way. That's interesting to him. He wants to know more. Why doesn't she act the way that everybody else does? You could say it's a little bit self-inserty, a little bit Mary Sue-y, but I don't mind that. I think it works ultimately, and we're really getting at something in the show overall thematically about not judging books by their cover, about using looks for certain things, about hiding certain looks. Like specifically, we'll talk about it with the makeup and comparisons between the characters of Jinshi and Mao Mao. I think that's very interesting. But for now, we need to, discover what's happening with Lady Lifa and her particular condition, I guess. So Jinshi uses his influence to let Mao Mao get closer, saying that it's actually the Emperor's arrangements, which should have been convincing enough in itself. One of Mao Mao's initial theories was that maybe Lady Lifa didn't have any more will to eat. Maybe she had gotten borderline suicidal at the death of her own son, which is pretty sad. It's definitely part of it. We talk about it a little bit more later in the episode as well, but she does have the will to live at some level, right? She's still continuing to eat. She's just very, very weak, right? And why is she very, very weak? Well, I've got it on screen right now, don't I? Somebody had been using the makeup when they shouldn't have been using the makeup, right? They wanted to make Lady Lifa beautiful, and in doing so was actually continuing to poison her. And again, you can see how this befits the theming of the show. For sure. Even as a character is dying, they are still prioritizing their own beauty to their own detriment, right? Mao Mao has seen this firsthand with her experiences with the brothel in the past, so again, she feels some kind of way about this kind of stuff. Now, I can't play it, but just know, That's one of the best cuts in the show as well, between those two elements. And yeah, the camera here is fantastic as well. Yeah, which one of you is responsible for the makeup? Yeah, we always want to make her beautiful. It's our duty as ladies in waiting to do so. And then slap. Fuck you. Like, what do you mean? And again, I continue to talk about it, but the prioritization of beauty over somebody else's health, out of their well-being, out of their continuation of their life, is something that Mao Mao continues to feel very, very strongly about. To the point of, like, going, like, full-on crazy. She's, like, pulling her hair and fucking pulling her around the room, tipping the makeup on top of her head. I'm gonna poison you as well. Don't worry, you'll be beautiful, just as your beloved Lady Lifa. Aoi Yuki really turning on the voice acting here, becoming an intimidating presence, showing range. Love this kind of stuff. Now, genuinely, is this person just fucking stupid? I just thought it would make her happy? What? I can't fathom why somebody would do this after learning it was poison. I guess they just didn't take it seriously. Just kind of half heard it. Just kind of continued to do what they were doing regardless. Like, you understand this is literally the thing that led to the death of the baby boy. You realize that, right? I guess you could make the argument that the Crystal Pavilion here isn't as with it as everything because Mao Mao isn't there telling them these kind of things. The information hasn't disseminated as well as it could have. Sure, benefit of the doubt. You're still stupid as fuck. You should be. Just put the fries in the bag. That's where you should be working, seriously. I love the music in this scene as well as the cut off of the music as Jinchi. We realize that Jinchi's still in the room witnessing the entire thing, right? So yeah, intimidating presence, like this build of tension and that kind of thing. Starting to shout at the different ladies in waiting, and then all cuts out. Jinchi's just left there. Oh, this is interesting. This is a new development. I haven't seen this side of you. Upon realizing that he's still here, feels a little bit embarrassed at what she's just done. But again, that's the real Mao Mao coming out, you know? I feel like that's one of the emotional peaks of the episode, coming at around the midpoint. It feels like a lot of the rest of the episode is just kind of, you know, helping her get back to good health, which is good. That's what should happen, and goes to show that you know what you're doing and can accomplish tasks when you put your mind to it. Is it as interesting and does it have as much tension as the rest of the episode? Not quite, right? I want to make one of those, like, they're kind of hacky in concept, but not always in execution. One of those videos where I'm like, oh yeah, healthcare professional reacts to sickness scene in Apothecary Diaries. I want to do one of those. She's just, like, doing good things, like, constantly. Okay, she needs to be clean. We need to have a well-ventilated place. We need to, you know, help her at least gain some semblance of nutrition slowly, build that up over time, and not worrying about stupid things like incense in the room that everybody else has been worrying about. You know, it goes to show, again, it's the same concept as the makeup. We're prioritizing different things over a base level of health. And again, you can apply that to myriad things in the real world, right? A lot of stuff about modeling, of course, and what models put their bodies through, which isn't exactly healthy to attain results of beauty and beauty standards and that kind of thing. It's the same thing with the incense. We're not letting the place ventilate because we want it to smell pretty. Well, she's gonna die, friendo. Do you want her to die? Again, it's the point of the episode, right? It's what we're trying to get at. Let's make sure that she drinks lots of water, even if she doesn't want it, even if it's painful for her, she needs to drink the water. We slowly, gradually increase, I guess, the solid nature of the food, gradually increasing the amount of rice in the rice water, I guess. Soup, ground fruit, different other methods of nutrition should help her feel better and better as we continue. Pretty obvious metaphor here. We finally got some sprouts out of the ground. We're making, I guess, good effort in actually fixing her problems here. Again, following this kind of sunshine summary motif of the entire episode, where, hey, it was raining before it was cloudy. There's small pockets of sunshine shining through onto the plant. By the end of the episode, there will be a full-on garden, demonstrating that Lady Lifa is back to good health. I know I've brought it up once already, but Mao Mao is really working herself tirelessly here to help Lady Lifa, a person in particular that she has no association with. She has no other reason other than being, I guess, requested to by the Emperor to help her in the level that she's helping her, right? Why does she care so much? Again, I'm sure this will be explored in greater detail as we continue. Something has happened in her past to make her feel this kind of way about this kind of stuff. Something inspiration for being an apothecary maybe as well, we'll say. Passion about poisons. Jinshi and Gaoshun show up here and feed Mao Mao some little buns or something. Are they bao buns? I don't know. There's something. Yeah, hey, we notice you're tired. We're trying to give you a little gift. It's very interesting here that that Mao Mao's like, this is the kind of thing that make people good husbands, in reference to Gao Shun, right? As opposed to him. He didn't bring me any food, he's just bringing me his own good looks. I don't need any of that shit. I want the food. Which is, again, extremely relatable. But, like, you keep saying, well, he is a eunuch, though. He is a eunuch. He is a eunuch. What if he isn't a eunuch? Is it, Are we shipping? No. Maybe? Are we? No. Are we shipping you? No. I'm unsure. Something's going on here. Something's going on. We also have Jinshi here, I guess. It's something about always keen to get her favor, to get Mao Mao's favor for whatever reason, right? Mao Mao, I guess, pauses for a moment when Jinshi brings up, oh yeah, do you need anything? Can I help you with anything? There is something, right? We want to build, I guess, a sauna for Lady Lifa, of course. Helping her to sweat out the sickness is always helpful. And he just does it. We just move very quickly. We find the property for it. We build it. We do everything just like that. The power and the things that you will do to get her favor. You know what I mean? I guess by extension, it is from the, I guess, request of the Emperor. He's like, make her better. If this makes her better, then that's good. But it feels like he moved very quickly, almost on Mao Mao's behest. Again, Jinshi is very, very interesting. Like, it feels like he's being denied what he always gets from women by Mao Mao, and he's doing everything in his power to try to get on her good side, right? A people pleaser almost to his own detriment. Yeah, there's lots of stuff you could say there. And now we have this scene. This is kind of what I was talking about before. Lady Lifa is gaining some semblance of consciousness, and the first thing she asks, or one of the first things she asks Mao Mao, is, why did you let me live? Why didn't you let me just die? Obviously feeling pretty distraught at the death of her own son. Again, cynically in the past I said, are you actually like distraught at the death of your own son, or is it that was your ticket to power and that's why you're distraught? Not quite. It's a little bit more personal, I think. And as we, I guess, humanize this character more and more, it's easier to see that kind of stuff. And as we brought up before, she continually eats the porridge. She could just refuse to eat if she truly wanted to die, but you eat because you want to live. I know on some level you do. And yeah, this is the scene that I've been alluding to through a lot of this section as well. The sun shining, the garden looking beautiful, something that could be in my future, or at least recapturing this moment that I had with my infant son, right? When it was just calm and beautiful and everything was right with the world. Looking at her hand specifically before jumping into this sequence, and as we see here, the little baby boy grabbing onto that finger. Yeah, moving. I like this scene a lot. Again, the animation is fucking insane on it as well. Just such a caring touch to it. I really love it. And yeah, essentially that personifying the reason why she continues to grasp onto life, right? Contrasting her life right now with the new life of a child, right? Maybe life's okay. Maybe it has its good parts sometimes. Maybe if I chose death here instead of life, I wouldn't have a chance to experience those things ever again. We end the episode, of course, on the note that she's going to try to have another child with the Emperor. Mao Mao really resonates with this as well, right? I feel like she really feels this moment. And I'm, again, wondering the context as to why you feel this moment so deeply. Something mother and child? Something? Anyway, I'm spitballing. But either way, it motivates her to work even more tirelessly on everything, right? Sweating it out, helping the fire, I guess warm the sauna that's going to help Lady Lifa sweat out all the sickness. Now again, you don't want to keep her in the sauna too long because you don't want her to lose all her fluid, right? Anyway, I'm sure they know what they're doing, at least by, 16th century standards. Cue the musical montage here as we continually work tirelessly to help her, working harder here as a lady-in-waiting than she ever has at the Jade Pavilion, I believe, making meals, washing sheets, washing bodies, all sorts of stuff. And then we have this character come back. I forgot to mention, but she was in confinement, So now she's been released. I'm never going to do that kind of stuff again. Again, if I had my way, you wouldn't be working anywhere near her ever again, but it's nice that you're at least remorseful about your actions. It's good. A tangible change has been made. That being said, I have been very mean to this character. I do like this touching small moment between the two. If you think all houses here are equivalent, right? Then Lady Gyokyo is very close to the chief lady in waiting that's close to her. This could be a similar relationship between these two. It's nice that you get somewhat emotional upon seeing her a little bit more healthy again, able to open her eyes, maintain a conversation, that kind of thing. A little bit teary, of course, as well. Yeah, nice moment. And then, of course, we have some swag animation as Mao Mao now turns her cheek. She's done with this kind of stuff. I can now hand it over to the other people. They have the knowledge. Because it was in this little montage back here as well, that we're also showing the rest of the ladies in waiting how to care for her, right? We're, helping them with the steps to help themselves later on. So now she can kind of leave, job done. I've taught them how to care for her now. They can just keep repeating the same process. I don't need to be here anymore. I've done my job as teacher, as coach. Again, more to this springtime, summertime motif. We see the birds chirping, of course, and hey, months later she's able to walk by herself and recover. It's great. And we have some nice words here from Mao Mao as well. Like, I probably pigeonholed her as a different character than she was. Both the audience ourselves, as well as Mao Mao, right? She has self-respect, but she isn't arrogant. After that matter with the prince, I just imagined her as a selfish princess. But as it turns out, she has a personality befitting of a concubine. This is, again, one of the shots I've been largely talking about, the butterflies flying off into the air and the sunny day out. The clouds have cleared. Bringing the episode full circle here, we have a very, very tired Mao Mao sleeping on the couch here on a little sofa bed, just having a little nap. Lady Lifa wanders over, pats her on the head, cares for her for but a moment after all the caring that Mao Mao has done for her. Again, humility. You rank above her on the chain of command, and you're able to swallow your pride and do something like this. You realize how much help she actually has been to you. Really, really like this moment, of course. I forgot to talk about color in the episode. There's so much color stuff, color coordination with the different pavilions, of course, and Mao Mao and her different coloration in her costuming, right, separates her from everybody else, right? She feels like an outsider based on the coloration of the scene. It's very, very good stuff. Again, there's a great example of it. She really stands out in the place, considering there's so much purple and blue in the scene. One of the first questions that Lady Lifa has here upon Mao Mao leaving is, should I try for a child again? Again, her motivation for doing so is indicated from the little musical montagey moment earlier in the episode. And I think that's quite beautiful. She wants to try again. She's regained hope. That's the demonstration there as well. There's some irony here as well that the whole time Lady Lifa didn't know that Mao Mao is here on the behest of the Emperor. She thought that the Emperor had forgotten about her, that she lost her child, that she lost her way in a way, right? Lost her hope in this rear palace. But no, he asked specifically for me to help you. He still deeply cares about you, of course. We make it more explicit here with Lady Lifa's dialogue. I lost my child. How will I ever hope to win against Lady Gyokyo, right? And then we have Mao Mao's little line here, right? There's no winning and losing. There are hundreds, thousands of flowers in the world, but who can decide whether a peony, or a bellflower is more beautiful? Probably contrasting this purple flower with the purple nature of your costuming and that kind of thing, or comparing, I guess you should say. Yeah, who decides that? What is beauty? Why do we try to attain beauty? Why do we try to attain beauty at the detriment of our own health and safety and that kind of thing? Why is the favor of the one man at the top worth so much more than every other man, right? Why do you place your inherent value in what he has to say about you, right? And again, it's based on the society, it's based on everything, blah, 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 but it's also thematically what the show's getting at. And of course, contrasting this with the brothel that Mao Mao was associated with early in her life, right? Who decides who the top girl at the brothel is, right? Who decides? It's the same thing, just at different levels of society. And again, placing your value and your self-worth in that kind of stuff is, part of the reason why you lost your will to live, and that's not good. And again, I thought the same thing here. I'm like, this is a very classy scene. I neither have her jade eyes nor her whatever else they said, but you do have tits, of course, which is an asset and something that Mao Mao personally feels a little bit of envy about, I guess I would say. And yeah, we transitioned the scene from, I guess you would say, particularly moving and touching, all that stuff I said before, to essentially like, you should use your tits to seduce the Emperor. Sure, it's a direction you could go, I guess. It's a little bit of tonal whiplash, but I'll pay it. It's pretty good. The final implication of this little whispering from Mao Mao as well is that she should potentially put some tassels somewhere. I'm not going to be explicit there. And why is it so well animated? All of it. Very, very funny. Upon the end of the episode, we have that coloration change in the scene. Mao Mao is back at the Jade Pavilion, of course, and everyone begins to dote over her. You're so thin, it must have been very hard, you must have worked very hard, all that kind of stuff. Wanting to help her again, fatten her back up. They already feel bad about the bandage on the arm, of course. You know, it's finally nice for her to be doted over instead of doting over somebody else. We end the episode on, I guess you would say, Jinshi's approval here, looking over to that scene and saying, oh, she completed the mission by herself, very impressive. It's important to watch Gao Shun's eyes here as well. Like, why are you looking at her like that so much? Like, kind of concerned about the change in Jinshi upon meeting Mao Mao. As we've been doing, we end the episode on a teaser for the next one. Something throwing stone tablets in the fire, something, a fire erupts in a bunch of different colors and burnt hands. We believe it's a curse. Now again, the hands themselves, they're not burnt, they just appear to be burnt, and it's actually a rash. But we'll learn that in the next episode, of course. This episode is called Covert Operations. I think the last one was called The Threat as well, which is an interesting title as well. Covert Operations, I think that talks more to the future stuff. It seems like something is bubbling behind the scenes that there's a plot at play. We start the episode here on another very well animated little fight sequence where Jinshi shows off his hot bond and downs this other guy. And this guy's name here is Bussin'. That shit bussin'. Anyway, bad jokes aside, it's nice to see a little bit of man service. I don't know, the shows I watch, I don't see a lot of man service all the time, so seeing a little bit's always nice. It's nice to have a little bit of gender equality, let's say. Very early in the episode, we have Jinshi asking a lot of questions about the apothecary, about Mao Mao, right? Has she gained weight? Is she feeling better after the ordeals of episode 4? This comes full circle by the end of the episode as well. Like, we get a better indicator as to why, or a more solid indicator of your feelings, I guess. It seems as though right now, Jinshi isn't aware of his own feelings, right? He's like, why am I thinking about her all the time? I don't understand why. The end of the episode confirms these feelings. Everybody else in the room realizes that he has these feelings. Gao Shun definitely does. And this lady, we see her for but a moment, but she knows what's going on, I think. It's funny to see another side to him, a side that's a little bit, I guess, naive when it comes to love. Mao Mao is back in form early in episode 5, out in the gardens collecting some kind of mushroom, which you would enjoy that delicacy with the quack doctor. It feels like she's herself again, which is nice. They've also been fattening her up. They've been making extras for the banquets and that kind of thing and sending her home with them, making sure that she's eating well and that kind of thing, recovering from what she did. But Mao Mao is Mao Mao, and Mao Mao shares her food with Xiaolan, of course. I like this relationship. It's very low maintenance. They just kind of meet up every now and again and have a combo. I don't know. You're not really involved in the show, really. You're just somebody to kind of bounce ideas off of, and I don't mind that as well. I think they keep it professional. It's good. An important piece of context here as well. Somebody was able to seduce a military officer who was famous on hating women, or famous for hating women. Who did that? A palace servant did. Oh my god. Scandalous. And of course that was the request for the aphrodisiacs, of course, that we saw in episode 2. That's what they were eventually used for. Of course, upon hearing the word aphrodisiac, thinking back to what happened when Jinshi had his little aphrodisiac moment as well, and getting a little bit flustered, that kind of thing. This doctor character's very funny. I think, again, canonically, he's pretty stupid, but he just seems kind of chill now. He always wants to have tea. He's always looking to eat some little delicacies or something. He treats Mao Mao as an equal now as well. He doesn't get all pissy about her being better at the job. He's just chill. I don't know. He's a little funny little freak guy. I think that's good. And again, I do this a lot with Dungeon Meshi, which I'm watching at the moment as well. I think the food just looks good. That's a good dish. Like, what is that? Soy paste, salt, and mushroom? That like can't be bad. It can't be bad. It literally can't. Either way, this guy has the audacity to come in and barge in as we're, having our little delicacy. He wants us to do our jobs. We don't want to fucking do that. That sucks. Either way, we look at old mate's hands. It seems like he has some kind of rash, and we begin to make an ointment very quickly, right? Then he explains his little story. He started to throw out some trash that comes out from the rear palace. I was doing work as usual that day, and then went to throw his little bag of, it sounded like wood in the bag, into the fire. That, as well as a woman's dress, burnt of the sleeves, or bottoms of the sleeves are burnt. Okay. Why? Why would you burn a dress and then try to chuck it out? It seems like it's important evidence that will become clear as we continue. Commit that to memory. I said in particular this feels like Hyoka, this scene, and I agree with myself from yesterday. Hyoka, I think, is characterized from these kind of scenes where different characters are explaining the elements of the mystery, right? In particular, we do something with the audio here where it sounds like it's a pretty, what would you say? Like the recording of it feels like it's been recorded. It feels like it's been tape recorded. It feels very, oh my god, the word's coming to me. What is it? Authentic? Not authentic, but there's some other word for it. It feels very, I can't think of the word. Anyway, doesn't matter. It feels that way. It feels like an investigation, and it feels like a clue. There's a definite mystery element to it all. It almost feels very Sherlock Holmesy as well. I just really like it as a presentation of evidence to the audience. I think it's very, very clever. In particular, along with the film grain as well, it feels like the film section of Hyoka, where they're making the little movie, or trying to discover the mystery of the little movie. Again, it was all very complicated back in the day. Either way, he threw those little wooden tablet things into the fire. Colors appeared. It's a curse. It has to be. It has to be something supernatural. There's no way there could be an actual explanation for the fire changing color. In reality, Mao Mao fucking discovers what happened in a second, so shoutouts to Mao Mao. Basic level chemistry goes brr. We figured out how to make fireworks, which is cool. So Mao Mao discovered the mystery in like a second, and I feel like Jinshi like planned this. Did he like plant this guy to make Mao Mao talk? Like, you go in first. She doesn't want to see me, but I'm interested in your plight as well. Either way, we quickly pull Mao Mao into the other room, much to the disappointment of the quack doctor that went to go and get the tea. But yeah, it feels like that was a little test to see her knowledge of fireworks and different colors and that kind of thing, and now we're bringing her in for the real thing. We're still not telling her all the details, and subsequently not telling the audience all the details either, but this is important for a reason. I'm neglecting to mention it as well, but there's a lot of tension between these two characters as well, right? Mao Mao continues to give Jinshi like nothing, and he kind of loves it and hates it at the same time. And again, that runs through the entire episode up until the ending. It's building up to that moment, of course. So I don't understand the thing about the mushrooms as well. Are they like illegal or something? I don't understand. Sure. Or are they like a delicacy and he shouldn't, or she shouldn't be having them as a servant class person. After Mao Mao leaves, the tone of the scene gets a lot more serious, and we must find people that have burns on their arms. Something that was on those wooden tablets that indicates that a plot is at play. The people with the burns on their arms will be the people who we're looking for next episode. The colored wood tablets are something like a code. Was that fire in itself something of a code, and the different colors in the order were telling different people information? And here we have Mao Mao doing a Mao Mao, right? Where she's trying to figure that stuff out in her head before stopping herself. This is nothing I should be concerned about. It's above my pay grade. I'm just going to continue doing my thing. I feel like you'll be drawn into this mystery no matter what. But it's interesting that you're still denying your own talents here, even at this juncture. You saw the autumn leaves blowing there as well. We're heading into autumn. There's going to be a banquet, I guess you would say. And yeah, Mao Mao, here's your dress. We're going to get you all dressed up and try out clothes and that kind of thing, because you're invited as well, of course. So there's going to be a garden party. There's going to be food and dancing and all sorts of stuff, right? And because the current emperor doesn't have a a wife, essentially. We're going to send all the upper first rank concubine, right? Contenders for the Empress Consort, which is the name of the wife, I think, right? So, it's like power scaling stuff. Here are the people that matter. We're about to meet them all. Here they are, everybody. I think, yeah, honestly, this is kind of ridiculous, but I love it. It's very, very juvenile. Like, here are the 4 contenders. Yeah, it feels very different for the show. And we have different words associated with the different characters. So this is Gyokyo, who is the precious consort. Lady Lifa, who is the wise consort. Not so wise, of course, with the whole makeup debacle, but that's neither here nor there. Each of which are being associated with different types of flowers as well. So if somebody could assist there with the Hanakotoba, I would like that. We have concubine Lishu, who is the virtuous consort, who is also 10 years old, so that's a no-go. Hopefully she doesn't end up winning. And then last we have concubine Arduo. Arduo? Arduo, who was the something consort? Pure, sure. Pure is definitely a good word. If I was to guess who's responsible for whatever the fuck's going on, it's probably you. Because I don't think it's the literal child, and I know these 2 characters. So it's probably you that's fucking trying some shit, if I had to guess. Also, pure is an interesting word, of course. So this kind of party, it happens twice a year. You couldn't go last time because you were heavily pregnant. Now you're not. It's time to show out again, of course. And what do? We just kind of follow all around the Emperor. Everybody shows up. Now you think that, Jinshi's going to show up as well. Oh no, I'm going to have to see him wearing all these clothes and that kind of thing. Is it compulsory to attend? Well, yeah, especially for the Jade Pavilion that doesn't have that many ladies in waiting. You have to attend. And some of us feel like there's some element of competition to all of this, and we have to show out so our lady can show out the rivalry, the different houses that are working towards different things. It's pretty funny. We're very, very excited to, I guess, doll up Mao Mao as well, mentioning makeup here, which will become relevant at the end of the episode. You should hide your freckles occasionally. The more you know, buddy, the more you know. Now, the rest of the episode here, up until the very end, is kind of inexplicable. We're making candy, and we're making these, kind of warmer things for everybody else. I don't understand why that becomes, the focus of a large section of it. I guess it goes to show your own selflessness. Unless the candy and the warmers become relevant to the plot later on, which is a huge possibility still. So maybe because she made all these vests for all these people, something, the plot unravels quicker than it should have. I don't know how, I don't know why, but that could be a direction. Otherwise, again, it just feels almost fillery. Not that I mind it. Again, it's nice to see that Mao Mao's, I guess, what's the word? She's handy, just helping out everybody. The vibe is that this one's taking place, I'm thinking in late autumn, something like that. So everyone's going to be up in fancy dress and they're going to be freezing their ass off. So if you have some kind of warmer under there, that's good. It's amazing that nobody's thought of this before, but again, tradition stifles creativity, of course. And she gets kind of roped into making them for, everybody. Up to and including Jinshi, of course. Yeah, this kind of stuff. This is more like learning of customs and that kind of thing in case you're called upon by the Emperor again. I think that's kind of stuff. Like you're not bowing correctly. Either way, she's working hard. She's nodding off. She's putting in the hard yards. Put a fucking high-vis on her. She'll do a job. That's what we say about Mao Mao. Oh, that's an important thought as well. If we're looking for somebody with a rash or a burn on the arm, that looks like it's burn marks, don't you kind of have a mark on your arm as well? So if that becomes common knowledge, maybe Mao Mao will be suspected of treason for some reason, right? That's one to watch. I forgot that she had a marking on her arm that's quite similar. Maybe she'll get accused of some stuff. Again, the audience is left in the dark here, but we jump back over to Jinshi. We haven't found the person with the burns on their arms. Hopefully the garden party goes smoothly. I have a feeling that it won't go as smoothly as you think it will go. There's some kind of plot at play. Again, I'm forgetting, what is Jinshi's role even? He just kind of seems like he's a handyman. He just kind of pops up wherever. He's in charge of some level of the rear palace, I think. Now, almost on an objective level, I think that Lady Gyokyo here is very pretty. I really like the colors that they've chosen. Really pops with her eyes and the makeup there and the hair off of the crimson and that kind of thing. Just good character design stuff. Very, very good character to look at, I think. Opulent and important looking, and then, of course, contrasted with Mao Mao, who is unassuming, right? Let's talk about that a little bit later. From here in the episode, we have a little bit of a mystery brewing about what the fuck is wrong with Mao Mao's face. We figure it out by the very end, of course, around the freckles. I also like how they adorn her in her little necklace as well. Makes her feel like part of the gang. Remember, you are my lady in waiting. You're just the same as all of us. You're being ingratiated in. Yeah, it's something about the choice of the shots here. It's so very shonen. It feels like we're gonna fucking fight each other. I love it. Yeah, you're fucking evil as fuck. I know this. I know this for a fact. There's no way you're not evil. It's you're evil or you're evil. It's one of the two. Here we have Jinshi putting on the moves on a fucking 10-year-old. She fucking loves it, so shoutouts to that, of course. I think you're gonna be annoying. We'll say. Naive, green. That's the kind of vibe, I guess. A contrast point to Mao Mao, who gets the affection of Jinshi and doesn't want it, where you want the affection of Jinshi and don't get it. I love Gao Shun. He's based. He's like, he keeps wanting to go over to Lady Gyokyo. Is that because of his favorite toy? Young Mao Mao? I think so. I love the lighting here, of course. This is a very, very soft scene, I would say, and I think that does a lot for it. Jinshi coming over, I guess, giving his words of encouragement to Lady Gyokyo and that kind of thing, right? You look pretty and all that jazz. And yeah, he puts into words what I couldn't, right? The contrast between the jade eyes and the hair and the red and everything. It looks killer. It looks very, very good. But then Jinshi sees his favorite over there and goes to talk with Mao Mao. Now I'm gonna go check on the princess, and hey, look! Oh my god, she's pretty. It's full, fucking, what's that shit called? The Princess Diaries? It's Princess Diaries vibes, right? Where all we did was take the glasses off and straighten out the hair, and now she's a supermodel. But again, here's where I'll talk about the contrast point, right? On one level, you have the consorts, the concubines, right? Who are dolling themselves up, making themselves look as pretty as possible, adorning themselves in various things, thinking about color combos, thinking about all these different things, in order to gain the affections of a single man, of the emperor, right? We're going to doll ourselves up because that's what tradition tells us to do to get the things that we want, right? And now we have Mao Mao dolling herself up as well, but out of obligation, right? And in the process removing some of her own makeup that she's had the entire time, unbeknownst to anybody. She's been applying freckles to herself, and we explain it here as kind of a defense mechanism against would-be fucking rapists and sexual assaulters and that kind of thing, right? Back when I was outside of the rear palace and I guess more actively had to worry about this kind of stuff, this was my defense mechanism. I made myself look as unappealing as possible to not get the attention of any men. And that kind of dichotomy there is the fascination of the show. Something in the makeup being used to attract, the makeup being used to deter, something in the flower blooming, something in the flower also being poison. Something of the side of Mao Mao that is part of this official thing, right? Closely associated with the emperor, part of her being the apothecary, being the poisoner, right? Part of her curing poison, part of her making poison for other people. All these contrasting themes coming together now more, I guess, actively, now that we know this revelation about Mao Mao. It also gives credence to the opening, of course, where we see her without the freckles. Now that makes a little bit more sense. Not that it wouldn't before, because Jinshi now just thinks that she's using makeup to hide the freckles, right? Which isn't the case. It was makeup the entire time. There's also, of course, the dissonance as well of the Gyokigen Yo here from Mao Mao. It's very casual. It's very unofficial. It feels like a weird voice coming out of this mouth. It's a little bit whiplashy. Jinshi for sure is taken aback here. He's I guess speechless from her beauty, not even recognizing her immediately. Like, hey, you're wearing makeup, right? You have to be. Your freckles are gone. Now, you misunderstand. Yeah, the revelation here that, hey, I'm not wearing makeup. I had makeup on every single other time you saw me, but you didn't realize it because that's not what tradition told you to look for, right? Cosmetics aren't just for making the face more beautiful. In my case in particular, they can make me more unappealing. Jinshi pries here. Why would you do that? Do you really want to know? It's to prevent being dragged into a back alley. Which is, yeah, pretty fucking stark difference, right? Think about the dissonance between the beautiful garden scene we see right now and what we're talking about. Even the trampling of the flowers here in the little kind of cutaway scene where we see what she's describing take place. Trampling on the flowers outside of the brothel. I'm not fully satisfied. I'm off to go and do something else, right? Again, it recontextualizes that opening scene as well where she gets kidnapped. Who knows what could have happened to her? She probably has heard stories of other people around her that have been, sexually assaulted and taken away and that kind of thing, right? She thought that maybe that was what was going to happen to her upon that first scene in the show. Now let's talk about Jinshi and all of this. Somebody that's been using his looks, his charms, to get what he wants for a long time here. It seems like it's his first calling card in this area of society, right? Being faced with the reality of somebody that wants to make themselves more ugly, that doesn't want to attract the opposite sex, and that kind of thing. He didn't even consider it before. It's like worldview shattering for him, right? And again, speaks to a difference in upbringing between the general populace of the Rear Palace and Mao Mao. You're coming to that realization now as well. It's the first time I feel like we're really, really seeing the real Jinshi. It seems like he feels pretty passionately about this kind of thing. Even apologizing for it, apologizing on the behalf of the state almost for not stopping this. But yeah, it's not your fault. You can feel bad about it, but it's just one of the realities of life, which is fucking sad. That's terrible. So apologizing and then being straightforward, of course, and handing out his little hairpin. The music here is killer, loving the piano, of course, the faded out background, the only two characters that matter in the scene, having a little moment here. I love this cutaway here as well. Everybody else knows what's happening right now, but us, the audience, and Mao Mao are caught off guard. We have no clue what all of this means. Now, you would have to imagine it's some kind of betrothal thing almost, right? It's a demonstration of, like, it's like I'm claiming you, right? Which, again, has its own implications, but they seem to like it. They seem to think it's like a thing to blush about and be surprised about and that kind of thing. The little hand up to the mouth here, of course. The hand on the headbutt for a moment and then walking away. Even Jinshi blushing somewhat. And again, through the next episode, we're going to learn the specifics about what this means, and that's going to be a revelatory moment for Mao Mao as well. Wonder how Gao Shun feels. I wonder. We'll see. And I love Mao Mao here. She's like, everybody else is like, oh, I want one. I would split it, but how would I split it? No, you're missing the whole point here. It's not because they like the hairpin, they like what the hairpin represents. Yeah, you already broke our promise, you're no longer mine alone, you're also in Jinshi's camp because of what's happened there. Then from here we jump into the party proper, we just kind of, have a little bit of dancing and, singing and that kind of stuff, music. All the consorts will fucking fist fight for the Emperor's, honor here, for his hand in marriage. That's what's going to happen here. Well, at least that's the implication from the editing as the garden party begins. However, unbeknownst to us, there is Mouth Person who is preparing a poison, I think. That's the implication. They're like putting down food or something. Now, hang on. This might be the dust. No, it looks like food. Because I'm thinking that this might be the colored stuff, the fireworks stuff. Are we going to blow up the fucking Emperor? I don't know. Some shit's happening. Either way, that plot will continue next week, which is a little bit sad considering that I want to know what happens. But I guess that's the reality of watching stuff weekly, right? Is you don't get answers immediately all the time anymore. Yeah, that was fantastic. Of course, I talked about it for way too long again. Hopefully, I can edit this one and not get copyright striked. Hopefully, I can edit it and not make any editing mistakes. We will see. But thanks for watching here today. These two episodes were excellent again. The themes of the show are very prominent, always, of course. I think the story itself is quite interesting. I'm warming to the characters more and more as we continue. Episode 4 was a production delight. Not that the rest of the show has been any slouch either. It's all been very good. So you guys chose well, of course, for the poll. So thank you. I'll see you next week for some more. We're going to try to do 2 more, of course, but knowledge of stopping points would be nice as well, because I think I could have did 4 on its own and then 5 and 6 next week if that closes out an arc. That would have been a preferable structure. So if anybody wants to let me know any structural stuff like that, I'm all ears. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. Catch you later. Bye. Discord, YouTube, Twitter. Like the video. Goodbye.